Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're taking a look at Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium is an RPG unlike any other game that I've played in recent years. Nowadays, when the tag RPG is given to a game, we automatically have a vague idea of what we think the game will play like. XP bars, stats, abilities, side quests, open worlds, all these things are associated with RPG games, and Disco Elysium has them all. But this game is closer to titles like Escape from Monkey Island and Another World than it is to conventional RPGs that you may have played in recent times. The main reason for Disco Elysium standing out from the crowd is the way it tells its story. In fact, it's pretty much all story based. This game is not combat focused in any way. If you're the type of person that hates reading long boxes of text, just stop watching now. You're going to miss out on one of the best games there is out there, but people need to know before going into this game that all your time is going to be spent talking to NPCs, trying to peel away the answers and clues as to who or where you need to go next. And to be honest, I love this game even more for this. In a gaming world where we all want our hand to be held and we all want instant gratification, Disco Elysium is a love letter to how games used to be. A vague description of the story is you're a detective who's been sent out to investigate a murder. A man has been hung from a tree, and it's up to you to search the crime scene and interview key witnesses to find out the who, what, where and why. If I refer to that quick description I gave you as the framework for the game, everything that you add on to that frame, every layer that is added on, is all down to you, and it's all down to the choices that you're going to make with NPCs and dialogue. When I said that the tag RPG gets thrown around, it's mainly because people forget what it stands for. It stands for role-playing game. And this game, you truly take over the role of your character. This character is whoever you want it to be. The little choices you make, every little thing, it's all down to you. A small throwaway comment that you make to a person can have unintended consequences for not just the world, but for your character. As an example, in my current playthrough, because of the choices that I've made, my character is currently a drug-loving communist who thinks he's famous and doesn't mind a little bit of racism here and there. One of the key game mechanics is your character has a constant inner monologue with himself. For instance, you could be mid-conversation with a suspect and your inner monologue will tell you that the person you're speaking to is either nervous or whether they're being truthful or whether you should press on with this line of inquiry that you're doing. Another example is when your character picks up a bottle of alcohol in game for the first time. Your inner monologue goes crazy, telling you to drink as much as you can, go and buy some cigarettes, buy more alcohol. It's kind of like the little devil on your shoulder. It reminds me of the old cartoons actually, where they do actually have a devil and an angel on your shoulder. You have a moral compass. Are you going to go the dark side, or are you going to stay away? Are you going to go the clean route? Are you going to be a good cop? And this system also carries over to the stats and the level up screen. As you can see on screen now, the abilities in this game are all mind and conscious orientated when it comes to naming them, which is another example that this game is heavy story orientated. Along with these stats we have the traits menu. In this game they're referred to as thoughts, and to be honest it's the perfect word to describe them. The thought system is what really brings your character to life, and unlike the stat screen where everything is pretty much a positive, the thought skills come with debuffs. Take this skill for example. I get bonus money from certain dialogue options, but I also lose 1 point from empathy, which if you think about it, it kind of makes sense because a money hungry person isn't really going to be that empathetic. So if an empathy option comes up in a dialogue choice, it's going to be harder for me to win that battle. I just want to talk a bit about the world and the NPCs that the devs have created for us because it's nothing short of excellent. The NPCs all have their own backstories, the whole in-game world has its own lore. The writers have done an excellent job at making social commentaries that are in our society now, but they tell it in the Disco Elysium world, which is jam-packed with humour, but it also has more than enough somber tones and real-world self-reflection that you would have to be a person completely out of touch with the world to not see the parallels between Disco Elysium and the world that we live in. The writers of this game should be proud of what they've achieved here, because a lot of love and a lot of the attention has gone into writing this whole script, and I'm personally grateful for what they've done because I can't get enough of this. It's one of the few games that when I put the game down and I'm out doing real world things, trying to pretend to be an adult, this game is in my mind. it lingers. You know, I want to know more about it. I want to know more of the story. It's a very special game. It deserves all the praise it's getting at the moment. The only aspect of the game that I would give it a little bit of criticism is the lack of full voice acting. And normally I wouldn't even consider this a criticism, but the fact that when the game does have voice acting, it normally has voice acting for the first couple of sentences of each NPC that you meet, and each character's voice actor is a master of what they do. They are really talented voice actors that they've got to do these certain lines. And then when the voice acting stops, you kind of think to yourself like, yo, just keep reading, I'm enjoying it. And you know, it eventually gets to a point where you have to read all the dialogue, and it's not really a bad thing. I think more people should be encouraged to read on a daily basis anyway, you know. We could all do with refreshing, you know, the brain. But the voice acting is so good when they have it, and it just makes you wish that it was just fully voice acted. It would definitely appeal to, you know, more people. It's a small criticism, but trust me, if you play it and then you hear the voice actors and then you have to read everything, you'll understand that, you know, they're really good. Just keep them in the sound booth. Just keep them there and say, keep reading these lines, please.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
Fuck this cone, okay? I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
But yeah, apart from that, it's a minor thing, and I do understand why they don't have the full voice acting. You know, they want you to consume the you know, the knowledge on your own, and they want to give you everything. By having a voice actor, it kind of is holding your hand through the game, and the game doesn't hold your hand. You know, you have to discover things for yourself. So even though I've criticised it for not full voice acting, I do understand. So we're nearly at the end of the video now, and I just want to give my final thoughts. So Disco Elysium is easily one of the best games of 2019, and it really doesn't need a scrub channel like me to give it a review. I mean, the game is currently sitting on a 91 Metacritic score. It's almost got all positive reviews on Steam, and the more people that buy it, you know, the more people that get exposed to it, the more momentum and the more coverage it gets. And, you know, it deserves all the success it's getting at the moment. But I wanted to make this video to show my appreciation and to say thank you to the whole team behind the game for making it. It wasn't the game I thought it was when I first bought it a couple of days ago. I thought I'd be picking locks, looting guns, you know, killing unsuspecting NPCs, you know, all the usual stuff. But what I got instead is a full-blooded story, which I can't wait to see how it ends, just so I can start again to play things differently. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm currently playing the game as a bit of an arsehole. You know, I'm a drug-loving communist, and, you know, I'm picking all the bad options. But I want to play the game again. I want to play it as a good guy. I just want to see how, you know, how other things would turn out. The game has just so many avenues to go down. You know, it's a brilliant game. I really can't add any more. It's just a fantastic game. But please be warned, it's not going to be for everyone. Despite how positive I talk about it, and everybody else who's reviewed the game, and, you know, the fan base around it, despite how positive it is, you know, it's not going to be for everyone, and it's just purely because of how story orientated it is. There's a lot of reading to do. You got to do a lot of reading, but trust me, you get rewarded with an experience that you won't find in many other games. And I look forward to seeing what this game company comes out with in the future. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, drop a like button, and if you want to stick around for future videos, you're more than welcome to subscribe.